Hello and welcome to another modelling video. Today we draw closer to the end of the year and as tradition have a look back of what I've made, any progress that's been attempted, how the channel's looking, what we're looking forward towards the future, and just a quick review of all the kits we've done. Now, 2016 has been an absolute amazing year for the hobby, both in releases, what other communities are doing, as well as myself. We have reached 1 million views on this channel, which just absolutely blows my mind. On top of that, the very recent reaching of 5,000 subscribers. From the bottom of my heart, I thank each and every one of you who decided to come along for the ride, interacted in any way, supported or watched my content, as well as colleagues who's helped out and modelled side by side with me, shared work and whatnot. Doesn't matter if you're from overseas or local. It's been an absolute blast. I've enjoyed real life events, the Gunpla Builders World Cup, as well as any interacting and community engagement online. I do admit that online rhetoric has improved immensely from my more unfortunate encounters last year and the year before, but that's only due to selecting where I do and who I do my business with. Most importantly, the hobby's a lot of fun. I'm having more fun and I'm just continuing off with what I'm doing. Now, in the way of builds, there's been a total of 39. Most of them are tanks and armor, which we'll be scrolling through in this slideshow. Now, some of them are hit and miss. Some of them were experiments, different projects, quick builds, mental builds, but a lot of them, something's been taken away from. Just having my hands around plastic as often as possibility is a lot of fun, as well as the chance to learn and just hone and sharpen some skills. Experiments have been done. Some of them have not turned out too good, though when a lot of these methods are being carried on, as I've done in the past, to Gundams and more serious projects, they've come out quite nice and I've been very, very pleased with that output. On top of that, I just have so much fun building tanks and just growing the little collection. Some of them I do really dig and see how far things have gone, so there's absolutely no regret. There's a ton of reviews, a ton of content, and nothing will change regarding that. Probably even more builds next year. In the way of talking about test beds and building, 3D printing is still on. Did a wood base with this first order Stormtrooper. Printed out the helmet in ABS, sanded it up, and just did further experimentation to getting surfaces quite nice. Most 3D printing efforts were done in the Gunpla Builders World Cup entry. As well as just general fun muck around scratch buildy projects, a couple of Mecha Musumos have been put out there. This power suit diorama grungy guard thing was a lot of fun. I really dig how this came out. The shading and the build in general is just very interesting, utilising a lot of Gundam parts for a Gunpla group build. The American tank destroyer is just really cool. This has been on the go for a very long time, playing with scratch building parts, kits, metal barrels, and glitter to get the clothing going. This was very well received, a lot of fun. This near naked piece was a bit interesting, just a very quick build, not ideal or perfect, a lot of experimentation and just stretching out some putter use as well as sanding technique. And the last one was just a 2-day quickie for a competition of a figure and painting a lot of white. With quick projects, also threw together this 0083 ship from E2046. This was just very, very quick. Nothing overly special. Did enjoy it. Vintage wise, next quick project, and the Tequila Gundam, which are two very rare old kits, and just getting my hands around traditional models and not so much all of your latest resin and Gunpla. Last year I got my feet wet with garage kits, the anime style, and decided to go a lot harder this year. Did this Miku. As the painting came out quite nicely, I had a lot of trouble with the assembly and that just did not quite work out ideally. Learnt a lot from it. Got in contact with E2046 and did this medieval jousting samurai girl, and took my own take in assembling. Did a far better job of that, and just went quite hard in painting, being a sponsorship public build. This definitely took me far in many aspects in resin modeling, and I do plan on doing a lot more garage kits as I get more confident and quicker at them. Start of the year, I attempted a Super Fumina project where I'm going to have 3 of them in 3 different states of outfits. Out of the box yellow, kit bashed blue in its school uniform, and 1 in its sports outfit. That one's a bit delayed, but should be finished sometime next year. The high mock is playing more with trying to get a unique style of clean build, which I think I've sort of got the hang of. This also utilised metallics and nail polish, came out with a very unique flair and a touch of shading, which is a bit intense and anime-ish. Leading to some of my favourite Gundam builds. This Barbatos I did at the start of the year, which utilised in heavy shading and masking, getting the hang of doing some pretty fun builds. This was utilised in a competition and did very well, utilising a colour scheme that's the same to my LARP warband. A very special project. The gun tank's got to be one of the most favourite, and the diorama as well as the rustic nature of the display tells a bit of a story. Went absolutely mental and wild on weathering, and just couldn't be more pleased how this popped out. There's a few unconventional methods such as nail polish to be used for the eye camera. Looks pretty interesting, and just a lot of airbrushing and big production pigment. Last is the massive and really secret Gunpla Builders World Cup entry. A little more than half-meter long Magella warship from the Universal Century and a Gundam flying over it. This is, pun intended, the flagship build of the year. Very pleased how it came out. It was quite exciting and rewarding to finish. Pushed 3D printing and CAD work to its absolute maximum, and I feel that this definitely shows and demonstrates where I'm at as a hobbyist and how I'm utilizing the hobby and pushing the array of skills that I'm experimenting and trying out to a finished product. Reviewing through feedback as well as last year's work, I think there is a vast improvement in my efforts of the Gunpla Builders World Cup competition modelling and just some of the general projects I'm doing for this channel and personal reasons. It's a shame that the Fumina project never got finished, though it's still going to be kept worked on until we've got 3 whole kits together to be put on display. No need to rush, as the last piece is very scratch build heavy. I've got a lot of intentions for next year, a lot of plan. I'm not going to promise too much because I don't want to disappoint at all. But there is a lot of crazy things to look forward to in all fields of figures, tanks and Gundams. I do want to do a lot more Gundams, as I sort of neglect that bit, but the ship was quite big. I think I'm definitely scaling down the largest project of the year to be something quite small. Thank you very much for watching. As always, until next time, stay tuned for further content. I hope this was quite enjoyable. If you have any suggestions, ideas or well wishes, happy to hear it out. And Happy New Year, and looking forward to seeing other people's projects and growth as well. Catch you later and have a good one.